Hi everybody, today's lesson is going to be on solving equations when there's parentheses involved. We are going to use the distributive property to help us solve these two-step equations. Let's look at our first example. So each of the 10 graphic novels in Stella's collection increased in value by $3.50. Her collection is now worth $75. If each graphic novel, G, has the same value, what was the original value of each book? So let's break this down. So she had 10 graphic novels in her collection. They increased by a value of $3.50. They're now worth $75. The variable here, what we don't know, is the original value G of each book. What we know that the value of each book increased, so that's plus $3.50. What we also know is that there's 10 of them. So we're going to take that original value plus $3.50 and we're going to multiply that by 10. It's now worth 75. So what we've done is we've created an equation, but there's parentheses involved. The first thing that we need to do when there's parentheses involved is we need to distribute to get rid of those parentheses. 10 times G is 10G. 10 times 350 is 35, and that's still going to equal $75. Now we have a two-step equation. With two-step equations, we have to undo that addition or subtraction first. So I am going to subtract 35 from the left side, which means I also need to subtract 35 from the right side of this equation. This gives me 10G equals 40. Last but not least, I'm going to divide by 10 on both sides, and I'm going to get that original value is $4. So what do we need to know here? We need to know that to get rid of parentheses, when we're solving equations, we are going to distribute first. From there, we're going to have a two-step equation. We undo addition or subtraction and then multiplication and division to solve. Now, of course, I want you to practice with some negative numbers. So we're going to solve this equation. -5 times s plus 30 equals -17. The first thing we're going to do is distribute this -5 to everything in parentheses. -5 times s is -5s. -5 times this positive 30 right here is -150. And that still is going to equal -17. Now we have our two-step equation. The first thing that we need to do is we need to undo addition or subtraction first. So I'm going to add 150 to the left side of the equal sign, and now I'm going to add 150 to the right side to make sure that we keep this balanced. That cancels out. We're left with -5s on the left and 133 on the right. From here, I'm going to divide. Make sure you keep track of this -5. Divide by -5 on both sides, and we get s is equal to -26.6. I, of course, need to check all of these equations. First thing with my check is I'm going to rewrite that original equation. Now we think that s is -26.6. So we are going to plug that in to our equation here. -5 times -26.6 plus 30. And the question is, does this equal -17? The good news is our calculator knows order of operations, and you can plug this in exactly how it's written. I want you to practice this now. -5, open parentheses, minus 26.6 plus 30, close parentheses. When you hit enter, you should see that it's going to be -17. So the -17 on the left equals -17 on the right, and it checks. We can also have fractions and negatives involved. So let's practice -1/2 times b minus 6 equals 5. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this -1/2 to my variable here, b. So this is -1/2b. And I'm going to distribute the -1/2 to the -6, being very careful of the negatives here. This ends up being +3, and then I still have this equal to 5. The first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to undo addition or subtraction. So I'm going to undo adding 3 by subtracting 3 on the left. If I subtract 3 on the left, I need to subtract 3 on the right. That's 0, so I'm left with -1/2b is equal to 2. From here, I can, again, make sure you're keeping track of this negative. I can multiply by -2 on both sides. I can also, let me just rewrite this here, I can divide by -1/2 on both sides. However you prefer to do this, either way, this is going to simplify to +1, which is what we want, and we're going to get b is equal to -4.